All right, good evening, traders, investors, and hope everyone is well and you had a great trading day today. It's the pardon me, it's the second of February. It's actually the first trading day of the month in February 2026, and here we are. How did the market play out today? I hope it went well for you. I think in usual fashion, I like to start off with the cues. I mean, you saw what I called, you saw the title today, and I think this is a reminiscence of how the market played entirely. We looking into the pre-market open, I think we saw a very strong drawdown in the markets. I think everyone was expecting the worst actually, but apparently the market reversed and it was a very strong price action. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen so we can all see how it played out. It's quite strange actually because I was calling for, I mean, even I was making a few calls based on what I could see if the markets had held. But again, as you can see today, the Qs closed in green. It reversed heavily. Uh, sorry, just let's have a look. There you go. It was just frozen right there. There you go. So the Qs closed in green, as we could all see. And yeah. And again, after hours, let me just take it to red. So Q's closed in green, and after hours is back in green again. So that was actually impressive, really, because the market is all-time high and it's trying to break out really, and it's just been struggling, as you can see, rejected. So could it be the third time lucky for the markets? We shall see. So again, why do I think this happened? I think this happened because it's a new month, new flow, new money. So first trading day of the month, and that's what I think it's happened. So we can see the small caps, all the 4-ton green, small caps bounced aggressively. You can see IWM 0.97%. And yes, so that's what I think happened really today. And of course, so the Qs is up, but look at this for a price action for an event. Look at that. That was impressive, isn't it? Sunday has been just, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to call the run, but I think memory is just insane at the moment. So if you look at since when it's been breaking out, which is literally 4 months ago, we have had what we've had 1,400%. You know, of course, we expect a reversal, but at what point would it reverse? We don't know. And again, we do have Micron, which has been playing the same game as SanDisk, even though it was a bit of a laggard, but since it picked up, it just never stopped. So Micron as well, again, 437, and if you look at what when it broke out, kind of broke out of the range around this point, and it just wouldn't stop since then. And Micron again, as usual, Micron has been about 300% since just about July, August as well. So similar time frame to be fair, really similar time frame. Yeah, September, and it's been, I think it'll be higher actually. Look at that. Yeah, just about 300%. But SanDisk has been the main guy. I think even Western Digital, which is quite strange because Western Digital is a that was a spin-off, or should I say SanDisk is a spin-off of Western Digital. So they have a similar price action, the I mean, one thing I just said to you guys in the group is, look, memory is about to get expensive, very expensive right now. So if you got something to do with memory and with job related, your life related, it's time now is the time to start grabbing it while it's still cheap. Okay, 413% run since last year, about June. So 7, 8 months. Very impressive, super impressive. Okay. Again, also, if you look at the banks have also been impressive. I mean, if I'm just going to pick any of them at all, let's just pick JP Morgan instead of me just going with the entire aggregate. Banks been impressive as well. JP Morgan, um, you know, there's quite a few of them. It just skips me, but anyway, banks have been impressive. I think City Group as well. Don't know how City played, but yeah. all green generally. So banks were strong. Also, I think another one that was strong are the transport today. Transport's been extremely strong. But one thing very, we all need to pay attention to. I'll try and keep it very short tonight, is the gold. How did gold play? Gold is actually a funny one because it reversed heavily last week. And while it looks like it's in the red, the price action was a bit funny today. Why? Because you can see from last week's reversal, kind of reversed in a little bit. So we had a low 4545 ran up to about 4,008, but but end up closing at about 4,700. So it's still very much in there. I don't think the run is done. I think some people think it's done, but I don't think the run is done. We still very much have volatility. We still very much have um, uncertainty in this market. So, but that's just me, my opinion on gold. The other one we have here is silver. Again, is silver done? I don't think so. Silver, I mean, collapsed all the way to 71, but look at that, back to 79, 80, and it's been flirting on that region. So there's all this liquidity here. Is silver going to let go? I do not think so anytime soon. But that's just me again. Also, the particular one which I was going to talk about, which I was talking about on my TV correspondence, was oil, crude oil. Crude oil was impressive last week, and we all thought America's going to strike Iran within weeks. Oh, sorry, within hours. And of course, it broke out my long-term trend line, a 3-year trend line. But guess what? I mean, like I said, I didn't think it was for me last week. And look at that. It just came right back into it. It flushed 5% today. Not great at all for me. So thankfully I was just out. So that's that one. And again, we had quite a few earnings today, which I did support Teradyne. I did think that there was a lot of buying volume on there, and look at that, what happened after hours. That's just insane, 25%. Also, we had the other one we talked about. I think the two of them we mentioned Palantir as well. Palantir had a record. Palantir had a rec. Palantir had a record earnings today, and this just closed the night today, really, I would say. Very, very much impressive. But market is not exactly showing it as much. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think Palantir is, yes, I think it's just disconnected, really. While I think is a very, very strong price action, but generally the fundamentals, it's not telling the exact same story. So we'll see how it goes. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Palantir I don't think it's got a lot. Is it going back to break all-time high right now? Personally, I don't see that. I think it's probably going to go up a little bit and then flush. But again, like I said, this is not financial advice, just what I am looking at or I'm seeing at the moment. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm keeping this very short. We do have a few other earnings. I mean, I'm not looking into all of them. Let me just see the ones. So these are the ones I actually was looking at today, but we made a few market notes earlier today. But what other earnings was I looking at? Yeah, Disney. Disney was amazing as well. Disney early on today, the earnings was just it was it was impressive, very impressive. But do I think this is the return of Disney? Look at that. It washed it right back into negative. I think Disney is still going to go a lot lower. You can't just put a lipstick on the turd all of a sudden and think it's you know of course, we also have SPG, Simon Property Group, which I'm just looking at. And yeah, not a lot. I mean, this is an all-time high anyway. So while all-time high could go higher, but there's nothing there at the moment. And which other one? I think I've been looking at NXP Semiconductors as well. So which is NXP, I think it is. So NXP Semiconductors, heavily looking at that today. And how is that going? Oof, look at that. That was quite poor. They said there's no bull market without semiconductors. But anyway, that's quite poor. So generally, there's none I've been looking at per se, apart from, like I said, Teradyne and Palantir. But overall, I think we're looking at another one tomorrow, which is quite strange actually. Speaking of memories, how will Snapchat play? Because we're talking about memories. How will Snap play? Snap is now they're charging. It's back to literally all-time low. It's a third. how will this play? I think if at all, if anyone's going to look into the catalyst going forward for Snapchat, it's the memory which they want to start charging for. Memory is not a new hot cake, but are they outsourcing the memory or is it something they are developing themselves? We shall see. But until then, have a good night, everyone. I shall see you again on the field tomorrow, and I hope everyone, well, you trade well. You take care. Have a good night. Bye.